So, as you know, my name is Miss Cole, and there are couple of the units that is covered within the marketing aspect, which we have to try. We want to just go through in the shortest space of time as possible. So it's like a crash course, you could say. A little crash course in these two units. But you still hearing me?
Yes, I am able to hear you.
Right. So let me just share what exactly is covered in those two units. One sec. All right. Let me know if you're seeing the screen, please. Are you seeing the screen?
Yes.
All right, so one of the units is operate advanced word processing application. So this is what it says we should be covering. Insert, format, and protect forms. So learn how to put forms on a table in Excel, in Microsoft Word. Determine the fields, customize desktop, insert fields. So you're going to like put a form in Microsoft Word. So you're going to be try to learn to create a form in Microsoft Word, insert tables in forms, create and work with a long document, which covers subheadings, create templates. It's quite it's a good amount of information. And then the last thing on it is create macro and run macro. It's an advanced level. And between the persons who are online, who is kind of have the basic knowledge right now for Word and Excel, basic Word and Excel. Anybody?
Miss, can you repeat the question?
Was asking who has basic knowledge of Word and Excel.
Miss, me, Miss, I have done this in your previous class.
What have you done in previous class?
I have used Word and Excel before, so I kind of understand.
Advanced Word and Excel?
Yeah.
You forgot what I went through a while, what I asked? Like the forms and so on, you did that? Or
No,
just
Miss,
the
we not think
basic
we did
knowledge
enough
you have?
for.
Come to
Huh?
be with ancestors.
We not think we did enough for.
But you don't have the basic knowledge.
Yes, Miss.
So you know the basic formulas in Excel and so on.
Yes, Miss.
All right. So that's Davian. Or Taniel.
No. Yes, Tanya.
Okay. What about you, Davian?
Yes, Miss Will.
Guess meaning what?
I'm familiar with these. I can hardly hear, but I'm hearing some of what you're saying, but I'm familiar with these.
You're not hearing me?
I'm not sure why I keep getting.
Okay. Are you hearing me better now?
Yes, I have.
Hear me better now?
Yes.
Okay. Right. I was just asking persons what based on what I am showing, if they are familiar with anything that I am showing here as well, or do you have just the basic knowledge?
Well, I would say that I have basic knowledge of what you're showing.
Right. What about you, Shanice?
So I know how to create farming words, Excel. I know
Also,
some information.
we can move a little quick then. That's what it be. We can move a little. We don't necessarily have to go too much in depth. Because truthfully, you won't be doing a practical aspect of this per se. You probably get like questions on them. But what we can do still is go through a few of them on it and give more question aspects of it instead of going through the whole thing. Because as I stated, you will have one big, as Mr. Dixon stated, you will have one big thing, right? Or Shani, you'll have one big exam and then the practical aspect of it. And also you will be asked to you'll
Good
be
evening,
asked.
Miss Cole.
Good
Question
evening.
or
Yeah.
or what everybody is asking is when is the exam? That's the thing. We don't know when is the exam.
All right. The thing is, you will have to complete the
The
teaching
whole course.
aspect first. Right. So they want to get so this is the last. So I am trying to see if we can do this in 2 classes. Give me a sec, please. One sec. Hello, sorry about that. What happened to the others? I had an emergency call. They got kicked out? Hello? Hello?
Yes, miss.
Sorry
Yes,
about
miss, we are
that.
here.
What happened to the other two that was there?
I guess them get cut off.
Oh boy. All right.
In 200 meters, turn left onto
Okay,
Spanish
someone.
Town Road.
That's how you, Ramari, on the road. All right, so it is 2 units, as I was saying. It is spreadsheet, it is operator spreadsheet advance, and operate Microsoft Word advance. So it is 2 of them. So let us try to see if we can do as much to cover. If we can finish in 2 classes, that means the following week you'll have the big thing, and then we'll wrap it up. Truthfully, we want to finish this thing by the end of this month. Just what we want. All right? The aim is to finish by the end of this month. That is the aim. Get me? So if we think that if we have to meet couple other evenings differently from in the day, then we might have to do that to just wrap up these 2 units. Would that be okay? Hello?
Yes, miss.
What is Daniel saying? What about Ram? This is how the turn out hours is for the class. You never have the full 7 coming in online. Let me just see what we can do today. Let me share back my screen. I want you to listen to this video, and then now we're going to go through some questions after that. So let us listen in. Tell me when you're seeing the screen, please?
I'm seeing
All
this.
right. So let me know when you're hearing. You were hearing it a while ago? You were hearing that a while ago? Hello? Are you hearing that? I just want to know if you're hearing. Are you hearing? Taniel, Ramir, Marmari, were you hearing a while ago? Hello?
Sorry,
Anybody?
miss. The phone not freeze. I'm here.
You are hearing?
No, I didn't hear what you said.
I was asking if you heard the video.
No.
Are you hearing it?
No, miss, we're not hearing anything.
You aren't hearing it. All right, let me see if I can to make sure that you can hear the video. Still not hearing anything.
No, miss, we're not hearing anything.
Okay. Let me go again and see if thank God. Were you hearing that?
No, miss.
Still not hearing anything?
No, miss, me not hear nothing.
Why? Sorry, I'm trying to share a video. All right, you should be able to kind of hear.
Of columns.
Are you hearing that?
Yes, miss.
All right, so listen in, please. We're going to pause some time to time and go and discuss. All right, so let's go.
Okay, so let's dive into some basics of Excel. Before you start using it, you're going to have to understand some simple basics about it. So first off, this is a worksheet, as you're seeing here in front of us. It's labeled Sheet 1 down here on the tab. Worksheets basically are made up of columns, which are identified by letters and run vertically, and rows, which are identified by numbers and run horizontal. Where these two intersect, that's called a cell. A1 is this cell right here. You can have each of these cells are going to be identified by that A1, which is your cell reference or your cell address. And that's how you identify it. If you have a group of cells, for example, as I'm moving these across the cells here, you notice it goes from A1 here through B4. That's called a range. It's a rectangular group or a group of cells that are all together. That's your range. And a cell range can also go vertically, can go horizontal. Like here is A2 through G2, horizontal. Vertical is going to be A1 through A13. Those two could be also can be cells as well.
All right, so based on that, what do you notice when they're highlighting the cells? What happened to what is happening with the first one? What do you see? What happened with the first cell? In the video when they were selecting the cells, what you see what happened with the others? Anybody?
Miss, the others was in gray and the first one was in white.
Good. So it looks like the first one does not look like it is selected. But however, it is selected. So the first one normally look clear, and then the others are in gray. So although you're selecting everything from the top, when you select in Excel, it does not select all the cell. It doesn't. The first cell does not look like it's selected, however it is. That's how Excel is. Right? And you can select as much cells as you want. What are the name of, if you're selecting more than one cells, what is the name for that? If we're selecting more than one cells at the same time, what would be the word for that? What will we call that? What did they call that?
Cell address.
No, the cell address is the name of a cell which is the cursor is on. So the cell address is like A1 by itself. That's the cell address. But what do you call when you select all of the cells or more than one cell? There's a name for that. When you're selecting more than one cells, it is called the range of cells. The range of cells, so it's selecting a range from all of the cells that you're selecting. It's called the range of cells. So if you're selecting from A1 to A13, those are the range of cells. Or from A1 to D13, whatever it is, those are the range of cells. Right? So the cells are the individual boxes are the cells. Individual boxes are the cells, and each cell have an address, and each of them have a name. The cell address or the name starts with the A from A, all the letters going across are called, is it rows or columns? All the letters going across are called rows or columns. What are they called?
Rows.
The letters are called rows, or the numbers are called rows? What are the letters are the columns, and the numbers are the rows. So rows are go across, columns go down. Remember that. Rows go down, columns go down, and rows go across. And each cell is recognized by the cell address, which starts with the column and then the row. Right? Clear on that?
Yes, miss.
Mario, Crystal, Shalik.
Yes, miss, go on.
All right, so let's listen in. Let's listen in a little bit more.
Okay, so if you notice the pointer in the actual cell, you notice that right now it is a pointer. It's just a simple triangular shaped pointer. If you click on a cell, for example A1, go back to A1, you notice that it changes to a solid white cross or a solid plus sign. That can show you that you've selected that cell. One of the key tools that Excel allows you or gives you the opportunity to do is that you can fill information in that cell range. And you fill information meaning you copy it, you copy the cell contents or completes a series. That's what you're talking about when it talks about fill. So if you notice, the pointer changed from the solid white cross to a dark plus sign. That's your fill handle. So if you put a number in here, you're going to go 1, you're going to go 2, you're going to put in 3. There's a series. Basically, you can see it's starting to follow. It's follow suit, 1, 2, and 3. So if you click on the whole series together, pick up your fill handle, and continue to drag it. If you notice the numbers on the right-hand side continue to add. It will continue to build those numbers in series. It will only do this if it's in an actual order. Like if it's months, January, February, March, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, Excel identifies the order, and then it just continues to add to it. And that's actually a very awesome tool to have if you're doing work with a lot of data numbers that you have to repeat and you want to save some time. Okay, so let's clear out that information there, and let's talk about sizing. Your pointer shape will also, or your pointer will also allow you to size the cell. A lot of times data in your cell is going to be too big, it's not going to fit, so it's going to look something like this right here. As you can see, as I'm typing in the information, it just keeps going on, but when you click outside the cell, click outside the cell, it actually changes. I'm going to change the format there because it's not allowing me to do something. Okay, so let's clear out that cell there and resize it. Okay, so okay, you can see that the number continues to move on past the cell, and when it's not formatted correctly, you're going to get all those number signs, which is going to tell you that there's a number in there, but it doesn't fit in your parameters of that cell, the size of your cell. So what you can do is you can move your pointer or your highlight, your white cross here, and you can move it over to the actual edge of the cell, and you can click on it, and you see it says the width there, 9.14914 and 69 pixels. So you can pick that up and you can move it to widen your row. And as you see there, it fits. You can also do the same thing to make your column wider that way. Widen your row and widen the column this way. So I have them backwards. So another way that you can adjust your size is to basically just double click on it, and it'll actually change your cell to the size to fit that number. Okay, so we looked at how to size, shape, what the cell is, where it is, you got rows, columns, all the basic information. So one thing about Excel is you can enter data as text, numbers, or as a formula. And as you can see, what I was doing is basically just highlight the cell and start putting in whatever data you want. There are some key terms that you need to know before you put in any data. These are labels. Labels are basically text that provide descriptive information for a row or a column. Labels are not considered calculations or are not in calculations. They're just information that you enter in the cell, and they're basically two types of the information outside of the labels, I should say. I should say that the information entered in the cell that are classified two types, that you've got values and formulas.
All right, let's pause that for a sec. Now in Excel does not necessarily know. We can type in it, because we can type information, however, and figures. But the one thing with Excel is to know that Excel deals with formulas and figures, adding, multiplying, dividing, and different formulas, average, minimum, maximum, and so on. So Excel, while you can type in Excel, and you can also, you can type, you can do other things, but you cannot really, Excel does not necessarily recognize words. It more recognizes the formulas that you would put in there. When you start a formula in Excel, who can tell me what you start with when you're doing formulas in Excel? And when you're doing anything in Excel, to add, to multiply, divide, to do average, minimum, maximum, and so on, what do you use? What is the first thing you normally use? What's the sign you use?
Miss the equal sign.
The equal sign. Good. So the equal sign will be used to do any function that you want when you're doing it. Now, this was also showing you how to size your cell. So if you're typing and it goes over, you can move the cell in order to make it bigger or smaller. Right? So you can move it to make it big, to fit the information that you typed in, whether it's a figure or a words. Now, if you're doing figures, if you notice when you type too many figures in Excel, it gives you the dollar sign. So you would have to expand the cell in order for you to see the figures properly. Let me stop sharing for a sec and let me open an Excel and show you that a cell. So one sec, please. All right. Tell me when you're seeing the screen, please.
Yes, Miss.
All right. So this is the regular Excel. So when I type in the figures, right? All right. So now let us make sure that we can when we type too many figures, all right, you seeing that? You seeing the dollar sign, the number sign, because you have too many, so it is not showing you the figures there because you're so many figures are typed. So it gives you the number
Miss, I'm
sign.
not seeing it clearly. Like it's not clear.
Let me zoom it up a little. Any better?
A little.
Any better? You want me let me go up a little bit more? Better?
Yes, Miss.
All right. So this is what happens when you have too much figures in a cell. So what it was showing you how to broaden it, the word and so you notice that when you have the plus, you're able to select in a cell. Now when you have in between each of the columns, you can able to expand it. So you click on the mouse in between each of the columns, and then you drag it to the size that you want. If you notice that it's showing you the width, so it's expanding. All right, so that means that width is it's still not enough because you're still seeing the number sign. So if you might get a question and says why would the number sign show up in Excel? You know why? Because what happens, why the number sign would show in Excel? Why would the number
There's
sign?
not enough space. You need to widen the column or row.
Right. So you have to widen it in order for you to see everything. All right. So let us see how we have some basic functions. So which functions do you know in Excel? Crystal, you know any function in Excel? Crystal is there? Shanique? Hello? Anybody?
Miss, I'm still here.
What happened with the others? I know we are all tired, but we just have to push through. All right, so give me a formula that you know in Excel. What's the first one you can think of?
Miss equals sum, I think.
All right, so tell me
Bracket.
the sum formula. Let's say we're adding up these now. Tell me the sum formula. So it's equal then?
Sum,
All right. Then what else would go after the sum?
bracket,
Which one of the bracket?
open bracket.
All right. Then what we do next?
Then we would add the address. So it would be A1, I think.
All right. A1. Good. See, A1 is highlighted once we type in the cell address. Then what else comes after that?
Comma.
No.
Plus sign.
Come again?
The plus sign.
No. We're adding all of the cells at the same time. So what
Oh,
will
you're
come
doing
in?
all of them.
Yes. We're summing up
It
everything.
will be A2.
No. We have A1. We start from A1. Then what else comes after the A1?
A5.
What comes in between?
But there was someone come in between. I think it was
Plus.
comma.
It's not the comma. It's
I
the
don't know, I'm sorry.
Oh,
No,
Miss,
it's
the two dot, the colon. That's you said
the
name?
colon.
Yes.
Exactly. The colon
someone come
comes
before
after that. Right.
And then
And
it's
then,
like,
and then the A5, because that's where the figures end. And then what else after that?
close brackets.
And then what?
And
Enter.
Enter.
and then
Good.
enter, yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
So that's how you're right. Excellent. So we can do the sum. So what about, let's try the next one. Let us try the minimum then. What would be the minimum? We're doing the minimum of the same figures.
Equal mean
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Open bracket.
open
Right.
brackets. A1
Right.
colon
Colon.
A5
A5. Great. I wish all my
and
classes
close
were like that and
bracket.
people telling me the formula. Go again. Let's try now the maximum.
Max
All right, let us change
equal
these
max.
figures. Let us change
Oh.
some of these figures. All right, let us change some of these figures. All right, so let's go again.
Equal max. Open bracket.
Right.
A1 colon A5.
A5. Why wouldn't we add the 6 and the 7 in there?
Miss, because that's not where the thing end, and that would complicate it a little bit more.
Okay,
Miss,
good. Yes, you're correct. Because what happened, you already have formulas in those already, and you don't want to include those in it. So one was the sum and one was the minimum, and now you do the maximum. Right. So if you notice now, when you click on your arrow, it shows you the formula. Right. It shows you the formulas. So you can always see if your formula right or wrong. So let's say, suppose I did I changed this to A. Let us say to A50 and see what will happen. You see to A50, what it give an error.
Yeah.
Because what happened, there is nothing there. So it gives an error, it give you an error. Right? So you have to watch what it so that give you a 000 because there's nothing in A50. So you can type the figure, you can type the cell, or you can use your mouse and click on the cell. So it's two ways you can do it. You can use your mouse and click on it, or you can type it in. So your formulas can either go with your figures going down or going across. So you can also have your figures going across, and you can have formula going across as well. So you can still have the sum, but what would be the formula note for going across? Going across. What will be the formula going across?
Miss,
B1.
if it's
Huh?
add, it would be equal sum.
Yeah,
B1. Okay,
right.
Open bracket
it would be B1.
A1
No man, we start.
colon.
Come on, let's go back. Let's go back. It's still start back at the A1. It's just
Oh,
because
you're
it's
starting. Okay.
right. We're still starting from the A1, but we're going across.
Yes, Miss.
So it will end at what?
D
D what?
D1
Right. So it is A1. Then what else come after that?
colon
Colon, and then the
D1.
D1, and then what we do after that?
Close bracket and then
Close the
enter.
bracket. Good. Yes, so you can go either your formula can go across or your formula can go from the going down. So be mindful of that. Two formulas can go from across or going down. Right. So those are some of the okay, so what about the average? What would be the formula for average?
This will be equal. It would be equal average. Open bracket. This it will be A1.
Right.
I think you're supposed to stop A5 same way.
Good. What comes after the A1?
The colon.
A5.
Right. Good.
Close bracket. Enter.
All right, good. So we do know the basic functions. Great, excellent. We know the basic functions. So there are a couple other functions that they say they need you to know. I don't know why them have to put this advanced thingamajigger. That's what they say, so we got to do. So let me bring up something as to what are the additional functions that you're going to have to do. One minute, please. Give me one sec. I just opened it a while ago. That's not it. So you ever hear about VLOOKUP and if functions and all those things there?
Miss repeat?
Heard of those? Like
Miss
the if
repeat?
function, the
Repeat?
the if function and the VLOOKUP.
Miss, I've heard about them in high school, but I don't remember not know how to do them there.
So let us first what about macros? Have you heard of the word of what of macros?
No, miss.
All right, so those are a couple of things that you're going to have to that we're going to try to see if we can do. If not, let us see what we can cover. So let me share back let me stop sharing and share another some information with you. So we know the basic functions, which is good. So there are some additional functions that they stated that you must know. All right, so here are some others. We have some additional functions, some if. We're not going to be doing all of them. What we're going to be doing is the if function. So the if function will tell you, like you can say if this thing is true or is false, ever know, right? So you do the function, and the function, when you do the function, it will tell you, it will evaluate it, and it will state if what you're saying is there is true or it is false. So that's the if function. Is a logical function. Let me just, right? It's a logical test, and it evaluates true or false. So whatever you put in there, the function will allow you to state, is this statement true or false? So let's say you're saying that Mary got less than 50%. Is the statement true or false? So when you put in the function, it will tell you if the statement is true or it is false. So we are going to be doing a if function. The next one you're going to be doing is a lookup function, right? And let me just tell you. So these are a couple of things that we're going to be doing additionally. The VLOOKUP and the if. Those are the only two we're going to go into. The VLOOKUP and the if function. Those are the only two that we're going to be doing. Also, and then now you are going to be also, I don't want to go into something that we're not going to be, that is not necessarily you have to go into. Let me go back to that again. I want to make sure that we're going to cover. Also, write the forms in Excel. And so on. All right, so those are a couple things. So here what we're going to do. First thing we're going to be doing is learning. You're going to be doing those functions, but I'm going to do something else first. We are going to be doing forms in Excel. Creating forms in Excel. So that's what we're going to try to cover today. Forms in Excel. So let me stop sharing and then we go and share this other screen. Forms in Excel. Okay, so to be a part of your portfolio with Mr. Dixon, you're going to, a part of it is whatever we do in class, you're going to create one or two of them in the one or two document as a part of the portfolio. Understand? You get me?
Okay, Miss.
Right. So we're going to be doing we're not going to go no in depth. So the only thing we're going to be doing in the Excel part is to create the form. Sorry, in Word, in Microsoft Word. It's two of them. It's Excel and it's Word. So we have the Excel, which you're going to do the creating the forms in Excel, in Word, in Microsoft Word. And then in Excel, let me see what is a document that they ask you for in Excel. For forms is one for Microsoft Word. There is one for Excel as well. What we can do as a document, so we can put it as a part of the portfolio. When you have that big event with Mr. Dixon, you know, you would be taking pictures of whatever you're doing and everything, and everybody excited to do that, right?
Yes, Miss.
But I'm wondering why those persons didn't take to the program and only 7 persons end up in it. It's just so sad. You know, we used to offer marketing as a full course, as a full course by itself.
Really?
Yes. But what happens, we weren't getting the numbers.
Oh.
That's the problem. We weren't getting the numbers. So we said, let us try the job certification as a short course to try and see if more persons will take on to it. And look what happened. Still offer it as a short program, and persons still don't take on to it. 7 out of everything out of and more persons are on the, why they stay in the WhatsApp group if they don't even want to be a part of the program. So it is so sad that that is what is happening with the retail sales. I'm not finding the document. Really sorry about that. Thing is, I don't want to claim the half. I don't want to stress on about when you come on to this. What I will do too is also send you written information as well. So if anything, you can also, and questions. I'm going to be sending questions so that you even know that these questions can come. Okay, yes.
That would be great.
Right, I can send questions as well. So when they look at the question, it won't look so bad. So I do have them for you. All right. So let me show you a little thing that we're going to be doing to get. It's like a mini assignment, and once you cover all of that in the Excel, then we're good to, then we will cover everything. So as I said, we don't want to I got this from somebody. I think it is very good that we can use that as one for the Excel, and we'll do forms in Microsoft Word. So let us look at it. Tell me when you see in the screen, please.
I am pleased.
All right, so we're going to recreate this document here, looking like this. We're going to recreate a document looking like this in Excel, and we're going to find the GCT, delivery cost, which is percentage So we're going to do that. And it should be looking like this when we're finished. We're going to have the different formulas. As we stated before, we're going to do I don't want to give it all of some of you, right? This is something, the VLOOKUP statement and all of that. So this worksheet is what we're going to try to cover in the class. All right. So let me so this is and I'm going to email this to you as well, along with some step-by-step notes as well too. It's kind of, to me still, it is kind of a lot in a short space of time. I am wondering why they had to put these other things in it. Because that unit can sometimes it's to take a small space of time to teach that is not so easy, you know. Right? See some questions here that somebody put together. Some different questions. So by the time you finish this, it should be okay. I think we're going to need more than one class for the week. Which other evening you think we can, other from in the week, which other evening you think? We're not going to do no more Friday evening, you hear? Not going to something here. Which other evening you think we can go do we can do a class?
Maybe on a Sunday.
On a what?
Sunday?
Sunday? No, we can't manage a Sunday. Sunday is my day with the Lord.
Miss, maybe a Saturday evening.
Yeah, Saturday could work.
A Saturday. Not. I was more thinking in the week, but you know what? The weekend. Okay.
In the week,
I was
Miss,
more
in the
thinking
week,
in the week. Huh?
In the week.
I
Miss,
was
I don't know
thinking that,
anything
but
in the week. To be honest, Miss, I'm home all the time, so it's not really my option. Anything them say me have to go with. Because them go
what
work
about?
and all that.
Oh,
Maybe we have to wait for the rest of the class for this.
but when is that? They are not coming.
I don't know. Maybe because it's a Friday and everybody will go home.
Everybody what?
Maybe all time is having internet issue. Or maybe they're on the road.
Oh, because government free up the place little. Everybody want stay home. Nobody want run go outside. They miss you. They miss the outside. Why I can't find that document? Anyway, we're moving on from that. Let me find that. Oh yeah. There is something that I got to. Revision notes. So I'm going to send you this as well. Whole heap of question these. You see them? Questions with answers. Questions with answers. Right? A lot of questions with answers. So I think this will be good for you to have as well. So when you get the exam, you won't be so flustered. But it's 40, let's say what, 40 multiple choice?
I think it's
Hello?
about 40.
Hello? Body not hearing me?
I said I think it's about 40%.
Didn't hear that. Can you repeat, please?
Hello? Body hearing me?
Yes.
Yes. Hello?
Miss?
Oh, my computer was frozen a while ago. Sorry about that. I was saying these are some questions. These are some questions too, questions with answers. These are some questions with answers too that you can,
Miss?
yes? Hello? Yes, I'm hearing. Not hearing me?
Miss, I'm hearing you. Miss, I'm hearing you.
Right, I'm just saying these are some questions with answers, which you can also get as well. A lot, right? These
Yes,
questions
miss.
with answers. So it is something that can help you towards it. It was stated that it's
Multiple choice.
only multiple choice, right? So what I'll probably do is take out the multiple choice part of it and send you those multiple choice questions. But also these are good to know as well. Some of
Maybe you
these. So
could,
I will fix it and
yeah, that would be good.
yeah.
Say,
Because
um,
you won't have even so much questions with these units either, because the 40 questions has to cover all of the units that you have doing the 40 questions. So it has to be a combination. Have to be a combination of everything. All right. So let me stop sharing a sec because I want to show you the VLOOKUP. We're going to do VLOOKUP first. So sorry about the upper. So we're going to do VLOOKUP for the Word, for the Excel, and we'll do forms for Microsoft Word. So let's look at the VLOOKUP formula. I am going to be sharing another video. And as you know, you will still get the video of the class, so you'll get everything. You have got the majority of the videos, right? I think I only didn't send the last two. Why my computer freezing up like this?
Yes, miss, we got most of the videos. Probably not the last two, I think, or probably one.
My laptop is freezing up a little. Give me a sec.
Good night. Sorry I'm late.
Yes, all right. Okay, sorry about that, everybody. I am going to share again. Let us watch this one on the VLOOKUP function. Let me know when you're seeing the screen, please.
Not seeing anything.
Hold on, it's coming up. Are you seeing it now?
Miss.
You seeing it?
No, miss.
Really? Not seeing it now? A blue screen, it says St. George University.
No, miss. No.
Wonder why. Let me stop and then try again. One sec. Well, let me share again. Who that came? So, oh, Tamaya James came in. Are you seeing it?
No, miss.
Not seeing anything.
We're a community of over 19,000 doctors. We have practiced at all top 20 U.S. hospitals. We're the #1 provider of doctors in the first-year U.S. residencies. St. George's University School of Medicine. Are you in?
Are you seeing it?
Yes, miss.
Yes, miss.
All right.
St.
That's
George.
it. Right. It's you know, sometime my ad might come up. Let me just. It's the ad. I want to try to skip the ad. Oh my, this computer decided to give me a lot of problems tonight. Let me go one more time. Sorry about this, ladies. It is, you know, sometimes you have one of those days where the computer decides to give you bare problems.
VLOOKUP is one of Excel's most powerful lookup functions. If your data is organized into vertical columns, you can use the VLOOKUP function to search for a value in the first column of your data table. And return a corresponding value from another column. The easiest way to understand this function is to look at an example, so let's get started. Here we have a table of data containing order information. We can use VLOOKUP to locate a product based on a particular order ID value. To get started, let's begin by entering the VLOOKUP command. As you
Sorry, it is pale, right?
can see, the VLOOKUP function takes 4
Yes,
parameters.
Miss, it's blurry.
The first parameter we will enter is the value that we are
It's a bit pale. I am not.
Yes, Miss, it's blurry.
It's blurry, yeah. Let me. All right, let's go again.
VLOOKUP is one of Excel's most powerful lookup functions. If your data is organized into vertical columns, you can use the VLOOKUP function to search for a value in the first column of your data table and return a corresponding value from another column. The easiest way to understand this function is to look at an example, so let's get started. Here we have a table of data containing order information. We can use VLOOKUP to locate.
It starts something there, but it does not. It gets blurry after. Let me try a next one.
Hello there and welcome to Excel Campus. My name is John Alcampora, and in this video I'm going to explain everything you need to know to get started with VLOOKUP. So by the end of the video, you're going to be writing your own VLOOKUP formulas, and you'll also know what causes some of those common errors that can be so frustrating and how to prevent them. Now, I've designed this video to be a follow-along lesson. You can download the Excel file that I used during the video. There'll be a link in the description below the video there. We can download the file and follow along and practice. You don't have to do this, but I highly encourage it. It'll really help you learn faster. So go ahead and pause the video now and download that file if you'd like, and we'll jump over to Excel and get started. All right, so I'm here in the practice file on the overview sheet, and here's a list of the things we're going to learn today. So I'm first going to give a definition and show some common uses for VLOOKUP. You can then follow along and we'll look at how to write a VLOOKUP formula. I'll explain the 2 main causes of errors for VLOOKUPs and how we can fix those. I'll also explain why VLOOKUP stops at the first match and the sorting myth as well. And then we'll look at how we can create relationships between tables with a VLOOKUP formula. And this video will definitely be packed with tips and shortcuts to help make this process faster and easier. So let's go over to the VLOOKUP definition sheet. And here I have a simple definition of VLOOKUP. And the whole point, the purpose of VLOOKUP is to look for a value in a column and return a result from a cell in a row where a match is found. And this allows us to answer questions about our data. So I have this menu example here. This is a popular example I use or analogy for VLOOKUP with the Starbucks menu. If you've ever ordered food off of any menu, then you've actually done a VLOOKUP in your head. And what I mean by that is the whole point of VLOOKUP is to scan down the
that is
column.
playing.
I'll find an item.
I am
So
not
to
seeing
find
it.
the
It's just stuck on. It's just stuck. What is this? On a YouTube. You're on a YouTube video. What the first video that what the lady was talking with some little column.
Yeah.
I'm just stuck on that.
Oh, All
So
right.
this video that
I don't know that.
you're playing, I am not seeing that video.
I am seeing the video that
That's
they're
for
playing
that's
now.
It's not for everybody because I'm seeing the one that was playing.
Yeah.
you're seeing the one that we're playing now, talking about the definition and so on.
Yes,
Yeah.
miss. That's
The
the one
I
that
am not
I'm
seeing
seeing.
I am not seeing that one, miss.
Don't want to stop and then share again, you know,
Let
giving
me
me so much
screenshot it and send it into the
problems.
group.
Screenshot one.
What I'm seeing on the screen.
Maybe it's more on your end because everybody else is seeing what I am showing now. All right, don't worry about it.
I send it to the group. But I'm listening.
I'm going
I
to send.
saw it now. I saw
You
a
see it
different
now?
one with a
All
drone.
right, good.
Starbucks.
So let us continue. Right,
Okay.
that's fine. So let us start back from the definition. So the VLOOKUP here. So the VLOOKUP looks at the value in columns and returns a result. So let us go back to that.
Two main causes of errors for VLOOKUPs and how we can fix those. I'll also explain why VLOOKUP stops at the first match and the sorting myth as well. And then we'll look at how we can create relationships between tables with a VLOOKUP formula. And this video will definitely be packed with tips and shortcuts to help make this process faster and easier. So let's go over to the VLOOKUP definition sheet. And here I have a simple definition of VLOOKUP. And the whole point, the purpose of VLOOKUP is to look for a value in a column and return a result from a cell in a row where a match is found. And this allows us to answer questions about our data. So I have this menu example here. This is a popular example I use or analogy for VLOOKUP with the Starbucks menu. If you've ever ordered food off of any menu, then you've actually done a VLOOKUP in your head. And what I mean by that is the whole point of VLOOKUP is to scan down a column until it finds an item. Let's say we want to find the price of the Cafe Mocha. And then once we find that item, we go over to the right to find the price in a different column. And that's exactly what VLOOKUP does, and it always looks to the right. And of course, we'll learn more about this as we go, but that's just one simple analogy to help you remember what a VLOOKUP does. And within Excel, there's tons of uses for VLOOKUP. It's a very powerful tool. First of all, like I said, we can create relationships between data and lookup tables like we have here for pulling in data from some lookup tables. We can use VLOOKUP for that. We can also use it to search databases and tables to return information based on a name that we're looking up. We can use it for interactive reports and financial models. Maybe we have a drop down here where we're changing the input and then that's returning different results. So we can use VLOOKUP to drive that. And we can also use VLOOKUP for tax and commission rate calculations. So instead of using some complex nested if formula like we have here, we can use a simple VLOOKUP to look up values within a table like this and return a result. So there are definitely a lot of uses for VLOOKUP, even more than I've explained here, but let's jump over to the write a VLOOKUP sheet and write our first VLOOKUP formula.
Make every
All right, and add.
exam your moment with Chegg. Keep a steady partner in your pocket with
So I'm here on the write a VLOOKUP sheet, and we're going to write a VLOOKUP formula. And we want to answer a question, which is what is the price of a Cafe Mocha size grande? Now we have our Starbucks menu up here, and of course we could just scan down the column A until we find Cafe Mocha, and then scan over to the right to the grande column to see this price of $3.95. And that's exactly what we want to return here in this cell, in cell B15, with a VLOOKUP formula. So go ahead and select cell B15. I'm going to type equals and then the word VLOOKUP. And as you start typing VLOOKUP, you'll see it narrow down here in the drop down. We can just hit tab on the keyboard to autofill that. And then we'll see the 4 arguments for the VLOOKUP formula. So we have the lookup value, the table array, the column index number, and range lookup. Now, if this is the first time you're seeing VLOOKUP, those can be a bit confusing. So I've also provided a simple definition here of those arguments. And the first one is the value that we want to look for. So in this case, we're just going to select this cell here that contains the word Cafe Mocha. So that'll put a reference to cell A15 in our formula. And then we'll go ahead and type a comma. And the next argument is the table array. So this is the range that we want to look in. So we're going to select our entire range, or menu here in this case, which would be from cell A4 all the way to D11. And that will create the reference here in our formula. Now, one tip at this point right here is to hit F4 on the keyboard, and that will create an absolute reference. So if we were to copy this formula down, our table array range will not move. Now, this is not required, and I'll talk more about this when we talk about errors, but it's just a good habit to get into. If you're using a laptop or a smaller keyboard, you might need to hold the function key when you press the F4 key. So far we have the first 2 arguments, and it's important to point out that VLOOKUP is always going to look in the first column of the table array. So we're looking for this value in cell A15, and VLOOKUP will always just look in this first column, look down this first column vertically. That's what the V in VLOOKUP stands for, is vertical. So it's going to look vertically down this first column here. It's not actually going to look for that value in any of the other columns. The reason we select those other columns is because we're now going to specify the column that we want to return a value from. And that's the column index number, or the column number of the value to return. So in this case here, we want a grande, which is the 3rd column. VLOOKUP starts here. This would be column 1 of our table array. Tall would be column 2. Grande is column 3. And Venti is column 4. So we want column 3. So we're going to type a comma, and then we'll just type the number 3 here for the 3rd argument. And then we'll go ahead and type another comma. And the 4th argument is the range lookup. Now, this is probably the most confusing of all of them, but this is either an approximate or an exact match. Now, 99% of the time when you're starting out with VLOOKUP, you're going to put false here for an exact match. We can use approximate matches when we're looking up numbers for commission or tax rate calculations, but for the most part, we want to specify a false here. So it's best to just get in the habit of typing false, or of course you can select this and tab into it to put a false here for the last argument. And now that we have all 4 arguments, go ahead and close the parentheses and then hit enter, and that will do the lookup and return the price of $3.95. Now, if you do have the practice file open, at this point, I encourage you to pause the video and write out the formula if you haven't already. This will, of course, help you practice.
All right, so that's just a basic thing about VLOOKUP. So let us see if we can try a VLOOKUP. All right, so the VLOOKUP actually, you know, it gives you the information, and so you have you could have more information in this, you know. You could have a lot of things in this, in the information. So the VLOOKUP is a good way to just finalize it. It's to just pinpoint to exactly what you want. So let me stop sharing a sec and go to the Excel document, and let us try it. Let me insert something here. Give me some names, like some food. Give me some names. Give me some like probably food names or your name. All right, so let us say Crystal. Let us give me who else is in the class? Let us put some names to
It's
this.
Daily.
Huh?
Daily.
Daily. Give me our next one.
Hey, come on.
Come again?
saying Shani, Amoy, Mario,
Amoy.
Amoya.
All right. Romario. What Romario was in the class earlier and then he disappeared. What else? Give me two more. No, make it stay like that. No, make it stay. Hold on. Oh, see we have more here. Sasha.
Romario did come into the group and say in soon like I'm back.
Oh. And all right, so let us see if we can try the VLOOKUP thingamajigger. So we want to look, okay, so let us put this as the money. Let us put it here, so. We want to do the VLOOKUP to look up the, hold on here, insert. Let's just put that there, cost. So let us say we want to find the price, the cost under daily, right? We want to pinpoint that where daily is. So I want to use the VLOOKUP formula and it's going to pinpoint the money under daily, right? So let's say now, let us put daily name here first because that's what we want to. So we're listing out the formula.
Screen, okay?
Or you're not seeing the screen,
No,
sorry.
miss, we're not seeing a screen.
Sorry about that there. All right, you're seeing it now?
No, miss.
No, miss.
Still nothing?
Not all.
But it stays here that I'm sharing it. Stop share. Let me stop and let me go again. Share. And there. Share. See.
Yeah, I'm seeing it now.
Okay. So here we have the names here. I would just put some figures, some right here, so, and call it cost. So what we're saying now, we want the VLOOKUP to bring up daily's figure in the VLOOKUP function, right? So we put the daily here because that's what we want to make sure that we cover. So it says now, the first thing, based on the video that we saw, you put your equal sign, because remember equal sign goes straight after for any formula. Then you type they will type what?
Miss VLOOKUP.
They will type the VLOOKUP. Right? All right. So what did they say we must do next after the VLOOKUP? We will
open bracket.
All right, good. So you have to put your open bracket. Then now, what is it what we want to do? Is daily we want to pinpoint, right? So we click over here on daily. First thing, we click on daily because it's daily. We want to pinpoint in the VLOOKUP function. What comes next after after we click on daily?
Comma.
Comma. In this one, it is different. So the comma come next. Then what will we do next? We will select the information, all of the information in the document. So here now we're going to be selecting everything, or all of the information up to there. So we'll select everything here. Right? Then what else comes after that? It did stay, right? So we have so it's here showing us, we have the VLOOKUP, we have the value, we have the table aware, which is the 8, all of the figures that we highlighted. Then it says what comes next. What will come after this? We will put another comma, wouldn't we?
Yeah. Yeah,
we'll put another comma. Right? Then what will come after that other comma?
I think we clicked on the number where daily is across.
The last.
All right, so we'll put the one sec there. Let me just right. No. All right. Who said them last? Which? All right. So let's go again. We are doing the VLOOKUP function, and what we're saying, we're using these figures that we have here, and the VLOOKUP function. What they say the VLOOKUP function does. What did it say the VLOOKUP function does?
Look for the information.
It's actually pinpointing the information that you want. So it's we're using the VLOOKUP function to, so instead of just typing it, we are going to be using the VLOOKUP function. So the VLOOKUP function states it looks for a value in a column and return the results, right? That's what VLOOKUP does. Looks for the value in a column and return with results. So the value that we want to look up is daily's value, which is the 2,434. Clear on that?
Okay.
So we want to look up daily's information. That's what we want to look up. So we're going to use the VLOOKUP function to do it. Now we type his name down here because we want to know, say, it's daily we're focusing on. So we'll type equal sign. Then what we say we type next, the VLOOKUP, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So we'll do the VLOOKUP. Then we
open bracket.
Open the bracket because that's a formula. So we want the value that we want is daily's value, right? So we have to click now at daily's name here. We'll put daily in a separate cell. So we'll click on daily here. That's the first thing. Then we'll put what comes next. What comes next after we click on the comma? Then what we have to do next is select all the information that we have here. So, right? We selected everything, the name and the figures. So we have to select everything because it's within this selection that we have our information that we want to look up. So we select everything here. Then after we select everything, then what comes next?
Comma.
They will put a comma next.
Miss,
then no. Go ahead.
Miss, then the
column.
Bad.
Right. So we'll have to choose which column is the figure into. So all right. No, in this case, we'll have to give it the column a number.
A number.
So A will become 1, B will become what then?
2.
2. So it is in column 2. So we're going to put the column 2 here. Then it states we're going to say true or false. And it says now to find the exact match, we're going to click at false. Right? So let us type in false here. And then now we're going to do what?
Close bracket.
Then we close the bracket. And then what?
Enter.
Enter. See there? It gives us the figure. It gives us the exact figure that was there. Let us go again. Let us try it again. It's not hard. It's not hard. So let us do Kemoya one then. Let us change it up. So let us type in Kemoya name here. Because she's the one we're looking up.
It's not Kemoya, it's Kamoya.
Well, let us work with what is there. But yeah. So what the first thing we're going to put again though?
We're going to put the VLOOKUP.
What's the first thing goes for formula?
Equal
sign. Equal sign, right. Then we say what?
VLOOKUP.
VLOOKUP. Then we put what next?
The open bracket.
The open bracket. Good. Then what we're going to do then?
Click on Kemoya.
Click on Kemoya. That is the first, right? So we click on Kemoya here. Then what comes next?
Comma.
Then what comma? Good. Then what to do next?
Look into the column.
No.
Select the
You
information.
block everything.
Right. We select the whole table. Excellent.
Yeah.
So we'll select everything based on the fact that we're looking for the information within the table. Right? Then what comes next after that?
Comma.
Then we put a comma.
Right. So, and then what comes? The column. So remember, in this case, we give the column with the column number. Right. So which number is it? Which number? 2. Good.
Yeah.
Then we click what?
Then we put a comma, then
false.
Then false. What am I telling you, say? At the brightest class me ever catch it so fast. Then we have what? Close the bracket and then
Enter.
Excellent. There you go. It shows you the exact figure. Good. So VLOOKUP is pretty easy. VLOOKUP is pretty easy. So if you have even 10 columns or more information, you know, so you select everything. And then based on what it asks you to look up, you put it at the side, right beside the formula that you want to look up. And then you put your formula right there. Easy cheesy also, Bree, right? VLOOKUP. You want to do it one more time with another name?
Yes, miss. Yes, miss.
All right, so let's go. Which name we're going to choose next then?
Choose any name.
Miss Ramario. Let's do the last
all right, let's go to Ramario name. All right. So you know, listen. So if you're writing it, you have to make sure, say, you spell the name same like how you have it here, because What happens if you might spell your name wrong? The formula might come out wrong. So you have to watch that too. So let us look at, so say Romario, we're going to use, right? And we're going to look up under Romario. So what we say? What's the first thing?
Equal sign.
Equal. All right, then
VLOOKUP.
VLOOKUP.
Then
Open
bracket.
Open bracket.
Ah, great. Then
click Romario.
Click on Romario.
Romario.
All right.
Papa.
Right. Then
select the information.
Right. Select what we're selecting.
We're going to select everything that's in the column.
All right. So we select from the two, right? We select all of the information. Then
comma.
Then
give it a number.
So which column is it in?
2.
Two.
Column 2.
Based on, okay, so remember this? So the formula is based, so because why we said 2 in this case is based on the VLOOKUP formula. It does not necessarily mean it presents for all of the formulas that you're doing, right? This is just for the VLOOKUP formula why we write the 2.
Yeah.
All right, then what else comes after that?
Comma. Then false.
Then false.
Close bracket.
Close the bracket and then
enter.
Excellent. To give it the exact figure. So we'll learn a new formula today.
Tonight.
Yes.
Tonight, yes. We'll learn a VLOOKUP formula. Right. We'll learn a VLOOKUP formula. So it's a good little formula that we can stop right there. Yeah. It's a nice little formula. That's a VLOOKUP formula. Nobody have laptop with them?
Yes, miss, but let me plug it in.
You
want us to try it on it?
That is what I want somebody to share the screen and do it. That's what I would want, somebody to share their screen and who can do that?
Shania can do that.
Nope, I'm using a tablet.
Sometimes,
I don't. Would I try? I can try.
All right, let me stop share and then see if we can. And then we're going to try.
Turn on the computer.
I really would have hoped that everybody would have tried to be a part of today's class, but I will send the recording so persons can look at it.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Hold on a minute.
When you get the bring up the Excel first. And then you try share. The share is right beside the part that says start beside the video.
So me have to go on this exact thing.
What?
The web effect. The WebEx.
What you mean?
To share the screen.
Yeah, you have to click on the share screen in the WebEx to share whatever you're doing. It also the share
so
button.
So that means you have to log on on
you're trying it on something else, on a different device.
Yeah.
Because
I'm using my phone.
Okay. You see these classes like these need hands-on, So but all of you basically get the VLOOKUP function. Right?
I don't hear, miss.
Now I'm saying all of you basically get what the VLOOKUP can do, and we can do a VLOOKUP function on your own, right?
Okay.
Yes, I'm asking. Yes,
Yes,
no,
please.
Maybe we
maybe.
can. Maybe I can try.
I am going to give Uno one to do, and then I'll come back to
Okay.
the next class. I'm going to send it
Yeah.
to the email, and then I'll come back to the next class. You're going to send it back to me before the next class, so that I can
Okay, so
see
I'm going
that
to
Uno know. Huh?
like screenshot it and send it to you.
Or
No,
have to
I
record
want you
it.
to email it back to me. Or do it in the Excel and attach it and
Oh,
email
okay,
it back to me.
okay, okay.
Right? So I'm going to
Yeah.
probably give more than one just to make sure so you understand. I don't want
You
to
can
kill
give
you.
about 3.
Huh?
Can give about 3 questions.
Come again.
No, I'm saying that you can give about 3 questions with the VLOOKUP.
Right, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do that. Give me until Sunday to send it. So I'm going to put it together and send it by Sunday to you guys with the recording as well. And so on. I don't want to clean the afternoon. So, and along with some of the questions, some questions and answers in our right. So here what is going to happen for so that you're going to do the homework for the next class. And
So
then
we're getting homework tonight.
I'm going to give you by now and get it done. Give me until that's what I say, give me until the weekend to send the homework.
Okay.
The homework will be the activity and you're going to send back to me. Right? We're going to meet back. It's when Thursday?
Tuesday. I know Tuesday class.
Tuesday.
Tuesday
Right.
class. Yeah.
All right. All right, we see how that works. If not, I have to double that. It depends on how my day goes. Cause so here what? If I'm not going to be Tuesday, probably gonna do like one of the other evenings them or something like that. All right. In this, we just have to try be flexible in this case. I know about I know I already conditioned my mind for the Thursday. I really never conditioned my mind yet for the Tuesday. But I will let you know about the Tuesday class this week. If not, we just work with the Thursday and work with one of the evenings. Or we can right?
Okay.
Work with another evening, with one of the evenings. All right. Please bear with because my days are kind of full in the days. And this kind of class kind of impromptu on me because Mr. Dixon asked me to do it. So it wasn't really planned per se. So I just took it on in the right. He asked me to do it. And I just took it on, not necessarily saying I do have the full time, but I am going to work with it so we can cover what we need to cover. All right, so 2 things. So I'm going to send 3 things to you. The video for today's class, the homework, plus some questions with the answers. So those are 3 things that I'm going to send. And I say give me until Sunday. So in this case, if you're going to meet on Tuesday, if we're going to meet on Tuesday, that means you're going to have to do the homework before Tuesday. That's it.
Yeah, that means we have to do the homework on Monday. If you send it Sunday,
right? Yeah.
I will do it
Wait, I have
Sunday.
1 day for doing. All right. So it's going to be a small activity. It won't be anything big, but it's just to know that you know how to use the VLOOKUP functions. All right. Okay. So I do thank you for coming tonight. I do not like to go class over 2 hours. I do, right? Persons, I know I have been teaching for so long. I know so after 2 hours, persons tend to lock off after 2 hours. It's lie? Not true. It's true, man. After 2 hours, persons
Get
them can't
sleepy.
start get sleepy, yeah, man. So
Other days with their class and me asleep.
exactly. So anything over 2 hours, I know, because this is some experience, person start shut down. So worry, because this is more of an introduction to what we're doing today. I won't go anything more in depth today. So we learn the functions. We know the basic ones already. We learned one more. So the next class, you know, we're going to double up, meaning that we're going to have more things in that class, right?
Yes.
Right. So we're going to do more things in that class so that we can be able to try to wrap up everything. We're going to try to wrap up Excel by the next class, and then we'll do the Microsoft Word one in the following class after that. All right, everybody?
Okay.
All right. So I do thank you for coming. Thank you for indulging me coming on a Friday evening. We know both of us, we love our Friday evenings, but so it goes. But God's willing, if anything, we have class on Tuesday. If not, it's going to be Thursday and another, and we can choose another evening again. Maybe all right?
Okay.
So we can have that discussion, if anything, on Tuesday. So we can able to wrap up everything. We want to try to wrap up everything by next week, the latest. Might seem quick, but as I tell you, it's a crunch course. So you won't really get every single thing, but you definitely get the questions that you can able to look over and everything for the final thing. So next class we're going to do macro in our next class. We're going to do macro for Excel, and then now, and in Microsoft Word now we do the forms in Microsoft Word. And then now we will put the forms in and then now you see that I showed you with that Excel document. Look, use Excel document one and put that within your are you still hearing me? Oh, I'm frozen.
Yes, miss.
Put that on to put the portfolio so they can see that you have done something within Advanced Word and Advanced Excel. All right, so as a part of the whole thing, a part of the portfolio. So everybody do have a good evening, and we will see again.
All right.
Thanks, miss. Same to you.
That's it. All right.
And the rest.